Hello everybody and welcome, it's VeDAN here. So good that you can tune into another video, and today it feels so good to say this, but I'm going to be showing you a farming strategy for getting a good 70,000 plus with Geraldo for tier 1 to set you up good for this timed Bloonarius event. So we are on the map, another brick, which is an advanced map, but don't worry, it's not actually that tricky. So we're going to start with a free dart monkey and Geraldo placed down where it is right now. This extra starting cash is going to enable us to get a round 4 NFT. So get it down as quick as you can during round 4 and everything should be good. Then basically the goal is use as minimal defense as possible and get 4 202 farms. So get them all 200s first and then obviously upgrade them to 202 whilst defending with the least amount of cash, okay? Now, for round 6, we're going to need a little bit of extra defense, so we're going to go and add a submarine. Remember, it's going to be down on a discount due to the fact we've got all monkey knowledge enabled, and we're going to set him on last. Again, kind of a perk of monkey knowledge, okay? So please make sure you've got all monkey knowledge enabled if you're wanting to go for a top 50 run. It's not necessary, but it makes life a lot easier, and like I said, we just want to try and get as much eco as we can. But honestly, this map, I mean, with like a 70k start with Geraldo, the eco you're going to have is just going to be so broken. Like, it's one of them where you're almost bored when you're farming because there's just that much to do. So don't worry too much if you fall a little bit short. You're going to easily be able to afford 2 first strikes and keep a Monkeyopolis down if you are indeed just going for a top 50 strat. And I believe there's a clever spike storm strategy as well for the optimal T1 kill. But for casuals, this is a great way to be able to get 2 first strikes and keep the Opolis down. Okay, so at the end of round 10, we can now place down our first farm. And we're just going to keep an eye on things here, okay? So I'm going to turn auto start off just in case something could go a little bit wrong. Basically, you just don't want to get like a red balloon to leak or something because then you're in trouble. We've got no defense for half of the track. And if a red gets through, then that's going to be an obvious penalty. But as long as our setup's okay, we're just going to try and get this to 200 as soon as possible. Try and obviously don't play in double speed. So try and upgrade at the appropriate timings so you don't miss out on any ticks. For round 14, I set the dart monkey to strong. That was the only difference, and basically what it allowed me to do is it allowed me to leak a green balloon at the end, as you'll see, and this just allowed us to avoid getting a penalty altogether, with Geraldo just hitting them couple ones around that bend. Okay, then what I'd recommend to do is for round 15, things get a little bit harder, so let's just go and place down a turret from Geraldo's shop. We can go and set him on last, so it's got a nice kind of line sight that's pointing right down the track, so it's going to get a lot of pops for us, and then we can work on trying to save up for another farm. Now, as you can see, a few balloons did actually leak there, but it is round 15, so that's okay. Round 15 is like notorious for being a little bit annoying. And then just keep making sure that you're getting all the ticks from the banana farm. Keep an eye on things. Round 17 should also be a breeze as well because we've got a lot of DPS going down on it in a short period of time, so the regrows don't really stand a chance. Then we can go and proceed to get our next farm down. Now, round 18, we have to be a little bit careful because we know that we're going to get a big rush of greens right at the very end. But I believe that this setup should allow us to clear this quite fine. As you can see, I mean, the sub's always a fantastic starting tower. Then combining that with just Geraldo's turret that's got such a good line of sight, it's an easy kill. Then round 19, okay, this one, again, can be a little harder towards the end. But really, there's not going to be that much that's going to change. So we've just got to play on slow, and I'm basically going to change Geraldo to strong, and then I did first, and then I believe I did last. And that seemed to help me just leak the correct balloons to not get a penalty. Just basically have a little play around with it. Maybe that was a bit of overkill, but it did end up working out. So, okay, and then there we go. We've got our next 200 farm. So you always want to try and get the farm down and upgraded before you buy defense. Now what we're going to do is I'm just going to get a sniper, and set him on strong, and this will add a great deal of help because at a later point we can upgrade it to full metal jacket as well, and that's going to be great for the lead rounds. Also, I just noticed that I did actually leak a red balloon there, and that was lucky because it was right at the start of the pack of balloons, so we got no penalty. So yeah, I think it is just a little bit sensitive and you will need to get some placements okay and maybe a bit of micro. For 22, I'd literally just used a spike of nails just to help there because I wanted to prioritise keeping a farm down, and I didn't want to be micro in the turret and sub and everything all at once, so I went for the lazy option. But just remember, like, it is an expert map, or advanced map, sorry, so it may be a little bit challenging, but honestly, I find it really quite easy with this kind of setup. And once you've got bloon trap, then your life's set, okay? Actually, once you've got FMJ on this sniper, your life's set. So you don't need to overthink it too much, okay? It's okay if you need to retry around a couple of times, just to make sure that you don't get the penalty, but I don't think you should really get that many issues. I believe we've had harder maps. Like, honestly, I thought Scrapyard, which is like one of the easiest maps in the game, probably had arguably harder early game defense, or early game farming, should I say, just because, again, it could be so easy to get a penalty. Whereas this one, once we start getting to the higher rounds, like if any bloons leak, they're just going to zoom out and you're not going to get a penalty. So yeah, okay, and then we're going to finally, during round 26, get our last farm down. We've got our sniper still going on strong. Basically, we're going to get this final farm to 2-0-0, and then once that's done, we can upgrade the sniper, which will be in time for round 28. And also, we can get it during round 27 as well, so it just helps when we get the big rush of yellows that'll come at the end of this round. So I did actually put it on slow, because I wanted to try and time this upgrade a bit better. Like I said, sorry, some of my upgrades have been a bit lazy, but it's just how it is. It's just showing the flavour of the right idea to farm, okay? Now we upgrade it to FMJ. Now we can save easily, full speed, double speed, right until the end of round 30. At the end of round 30, we can basically sell all the NFT and the farms. Make sure the 202 first, so you get the increased sellback price. And now we've got about 23,500 roughly to play with, okay? So now it's time to get an Opolis. And I just went for this location here. So I'm just going to put it basically just like directly above the submarine, and it's going to allow us to easily fit 5 marketplaces around it, okay? I'm sure there's going to be better placements than this, but it's a very friendly placement and allows us to also get a favoured trades in range of every tower that we're going to place down, okay? And that's a big impact because it's going to give us that increased sellback. So whenever you've got water on a map, make sure to capitalise on it because, you know, it doesn't sound like it'll be that much, but you can literally make a few thousand more from having down a favoured trades, which I always think, you know, that's always a big help, particularly early game, and usually ends up snowballing quite dramatically later on. Okay, so now it's just a case of getting the Opolis, and we did manage to keep 2 discounts down. In fact, I could have sold the other towers that I had down first and kept 3 discounts. I don't know why I didn't do that, actually. That was a bit of a noob moment, but it's okay. And then, like I said, we're just going to go and get our bloon trap. If you've done everything perfectly and not suboptimally like myself here, then you will be able to get this fully set up for the start of round 31, whereas I'm just going to be a tiny bit behind, but that's okay. I know the top players will disagree, but if you're going for a top 50 run, right, having this much eco, you're going to be absolutely fine. And just how much eco you can make in this map in general, I mean, look at all the farming spaces. Let's not forget as well, on the left-hand side, there's just an entire big line where you can fit and stack, you know, banana farms and overclocks. You're going to be absolutely fine on eco, okay? Sometimes it's just about getting the idea for it, and also, I know some people want to know how to do it without penalty, so this is just the strategy that I did. It's a very kind of basic and layman one, but it worked out pretty good. And I'm not going for a top 3 run, especially on an event like this, because you're going to see the times are going to be incredibly close. So don't worry about it too much. As you can see, though, we're fitting the farms nice and good. Having the bigger range on the Monkeyopolis does help a ton. And now this is a kind of milestone for you. I want you guys, if you're a casual player, you need to get favoured trades during round 37. If you've got favoured trades during round 37, then you're in a good enough position, okay? Because now you're going to be able to easily keep down Monkeyopolis and First Strikes and the bloon trap, and you'll have like 6,000 to 8,000 spare, okay? So you're going to be able to easily, for tier 2, get straight into your BRF overclock markets, and you're going to be able to get about around 48 or 49 banana central, and then basically the game's going to be broken with eco. So, you know, have fun with that. I will post my very casual kill guide as well to do it in about 40 seconds. So yeah, I hope this has helped. This is, you know, super fun. Like, it feels like I'm going back to how I used to play it, instead of doing least tiers, which, you know, don't want to say too much of my opinions on it, but yeah, thank you so much for all the support. Please join the Discord, and I'll see you guys very soon.